The tombs that spoke without a word, uncovering resurrection power buried in silence. The Karen hills whispered secrets older than time, their flower-strewn slopes hiding truths that could shatter souls. In the village of Mela, where mist clung to the earth like a mourner's veil, the air buzzed with unease. The sacred Karen flower, a crimson bloom said to hold the spirits of ancestors, was at the heart of a brewing storm. For centuries, the tribe revered it, believing its petals could summon resurrect Iona power to bring back the dead, but only at a cost no one dared name. Leah, a fierce 22-year-old with eyes like burning coals, stood at the edge of the village square, clutching the forbidden bloom. Her hands trembled, not from fear but from defiance. Across from her, Elder Tomo, the village's iron-willed guardian, glared with the weight of tradition. "You disgrace us," he roared, his voice slicing through the murmurs of the gathered crowd. "That flower is not yours to wield." Leah's jaw tightened. She had seen her brother, Kale, die in a raid 2 years prior, his body left broken on the cliffs. The pain had carved her heart hollow, and now, with the flower in her grasp, she believed she could bring him back. The conflict had simmered for weeks. Leah had uncovered an ancient text in a forgotten cave, its pages brittle but alive with forbidden knowledge. It spoke of the flower's power not just to resurrect but to reveal truths buried in silence. The village elders, led by Tomo, had banned its use, claiming it angered the spirits. But Leah saw their fear for what it was: control. They hoarded the flower's secrets, guarding their authority while the village suffered raids, famine, and loss. As the sun dipped low, painting the hills gold, the confrontation erupted. Leah raised the flower high, its petals glowing faintly, as if alive. "You let Kale die," she screamed. "You let all of them die, hiding behind your rituals." The crowd gasped, torn between loyalty to tradition and the raw grief in Leah's voice. Tomo stepped forward, his staff slamming into the earth. "You know nothing of sacrifice, child. The flower demands a life for a life. Would you curse us all?" The tension snapped like a taut rope when a new voice cut through the chaos. It was Sura, a reclusive herbalist, her face weathered by years of solitude. She had been silent for decades, shunned for once questioning the elders. Now, she stepped into the square, her trembling hands holding a tattered journal. "Leah speaks truth," Sura said, her voice steady despite her frailty. "The elders have lied. The flower doesn't just resurrect, it reveals. It shows the sins we bury." The crowd froze. Sura's revelation was a twist no one saw coming, a spark to the powder keg of distrust. Tomo's face paled, but he recovered quickly. "Lies from a heretic," he bellowed, signaling his loyalists to seize Sura. But Leah was faster. She crushed the flower's petals, releasing a crimson mist that swirled around her like a storm. The air grew heavy, and whispers inhuman, ancient filled the square. The crowd stumbled back, fear overtaking their anger. Leah's eyes glowed with unnatural light as she spoke, her voice no longer her own. "The tombs speak. You killed to keep your power." The mist coalesced, forming visions of the past. Elders sacrificing dissenters, burying them in unmarked graves to silence their questions. The crowd wept, some falling to their knees, as the flower exposed the village's darkest truths. Tomo staggered, his authority crumbling. But the cost of the flower's power emerged too late. Leah's body began to fade, her life draining to fuel the resurrection. She had unknowingly paid the price Tomo warned of. Kale appeared, whole but hollow-eyed, a shadow of the brother she loved. He reached for her, but Leah collapsed, her breath shallow. Sura rushed to her side, tears streaming. "You were brave, child, but the flower takes more than it gives." The crowd, now shattered by guilt and revelation, stood in silence as Leah's life slipped away. Kale, reborn but mute, knelt beside her, a living reminder of the cost of truth. The village would never be the same. The elders' lies were exposed, but at what price? Leah's sacrifice forced the Karen to confront their past, but it left them fractured, grappling with the weight of their history. The flower, now wilted, lay in the dirt, its power spent. Surah, the unexpected voice of truth, vanished into the hills, her journal left behind as a testament to the courage of those who dared speak. In the end, the tombs spoke without a word, their silence louder than any cry. Leah's defiance had unearthed a resurrection power not of bodies, but of truth buried in silence. Yet the cost was a wound that would never heal. The Karen would rebuild, but the scars of that day would linger, a reminder that truth, like the flower, blooms only through sacrifice. What do you think? Does Leah's sacrifice justify the truth she uncovered? Or was the cost too great for justice to prevail? Share your perspective.